So let's jump right into what you can expect from technology in 2024. All right, my number one that was on the very top of the list that you're gonna hear and see in we're all witness it develop and grow into these devices. Look, these phones have come a long way just in the last couple of years. And in the previous year of 2023, it's all about AI, artificial intelligence. As we saw, the Google Pixel 8 Pro get launched with a ton of AI features. That trend is not going anywhere, my friends. A lot of generative AI. It's become a lot more accessible. Well, there we go. AI was interrupting my video. But I think we're going to see a ton of this in all of the 2024 flagship devices. The Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 was announced in late 2023. And I didn't cover much of it, but I did watch the announcement and or launch or release of their keynote of the launch of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. And it is all based around AI. They built that CPU, which is a beast, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it here in just a few weeks, right? They built that CPU, that chip, with a foundation of artificial intelligence. It was built from the ground up with a focus on AI. And that means that the flagship devices that are released in 2024 can put more of a focus on AI into the features and tweaks and customization that all these manufacturers offer, right? Because everyone offers a little bit different stuff, right? That's the great thing about Android. You can get Android in many different flavors. It's not like boring ass Apple where you get one phone a year and it looks like all the previous other, last four iPhones, right? Boring. No, Android is about your style, about your flavor. What style and functionalities of Android do you like best? Gives you a great option, right? But Samsung, as I mentioned, right around the corner with their S24, it's going to be housing the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. Now, Samsung is rumored to include a ton of AI on this upcoming S24 series. Now, when I usually talk about S24, I'm going to be referencing and or talking about the S24 Ultra. It's not that I hate the or dislike the other models, right? The base model and the plus model. It's just the Ultra is their flagship device. They sell more of the Ultra model than the other two models combined. So this upcoming S24 Ultra is going to be badass. It's going to have tons of AI. It's going to have everything. That's why I was getting on Google in last month, because when they released the Pixel 8 Pro at launch, they said, "Oh, it's going to have this feature and this AI feature and that AI feature and this one," and everybody's like, "Whoa, that's so cool!" But there's a little problem. They didn't release the phone with all those features available. So it was released in October. October. We had to wait until late December or mid-December, months later, just to get all those features enabled on our phone. We had to wait for the December feature drop and security patch for all those AI features to be available on our device. Samsung's coming right out the gates with all of their AI features from day one. Now, what are those AI features? Well, they're going to have everything the Pixel 8 Pro has on it and more, right? So they're going to have features such as real-time call translation as far as the languages. So I could be talking to somebody on the other line that only speaks Spanish, and we can have a full conversation. It's not like, it's not half-assed. They're going to hear me in Spanish, and I'm going to hear them in English. So that's going to be awesome. They're also going to have a magic editor for videos, which perfect for somebody like me, right? Magic editor cuts down on the time consumption I spend editing videos. It's also going to include a number of other things that I don't want to get too deep into, but we'll do that. Look, it's right around launch. Is just literally a couple days, or not a couple days, a couple weeks away. But we'll dive into that to another video. I'm just giving you an overview of what we can expect. Now, speaking of Pixel, real quick, while we move on from AI, the Pixel 9 is rumored, Pixel 9 Pro, may I add, is rumored to be shipped with a Gemini-powered AI called Pixie. Internally, it's called Pixie. Gemini-powered AI named Pixie. So apparently they have more AI stuff up their sleeve. And as I mentioned, it's just going to get more progressive and more progressive. And 5 years from now, who knows what the hell we'll be able to do with our phones. It's going to be insane. I can't wait. And y'all will be right along with me for the ride. So, moving into my number 2 topic and or feature of technology moving into the year 2024 is better freedom to sideload apps. Now, hold up. I know my last video with the new Chameleon banking Trojan malware that's being spread about, that malware hides itself inside of a clone copy of another app, and you go sideload that app like Candy Crush that you think is the official Candy Crush, and it operates just like Candy Crush, but it's got the malware inside of there. So I'll take this with a grain of salt, right? The EU basically forced Apple's USB Type-C change in their iPhones for the iPhone 15 series, and they're also doing that with sideloading apps, which is why the Chameleon banking Trojan malware virus is predominantly in Europe at the moment, but it is making its way into the US. If you want more information on that Chameleon banking Trojan malware, go see my last video. I break it down, explain exactly what it is. But the EU is forcing Apple and Google to also allow applications to be installed from outside the Play Store. So that's why maybe a good thing, maybe a bad thing. I don't know where this is going to go, because this new malware thing can and will log into your banking apps by itself automatically and drain all your money, transfer all your money out. So I don't really know where this is going, but I can promise you I will keep a close eye on it. Now, Apple is going to have to enable side loading on their iPhones with a future iOS 17 released, at least in Europe next year. We don't know if they're going to allow that for iPhone users here in America, but the EU passed the Digital Markets Act, the DMA, which is forcing tech giants such as Apple and Google to open up their monopolistic app stores to third-party options. So we will keep an eye on this. Again, don't know where this is going. Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. We will just wait and see. But that was number 2 on my list. Number 3, a growing trend in the tech world for 2024 is the super bright displays. Seemed like for a while there'd be small bump in nits or brightness for these flagship devices, and then all of a sudden 2023 just exploded the brightness of these displays. Remember how long, for years, if you're in the bright sun, in direct sunlight, it's hard to see your screen. You can't really see it, right? Well, now, apparently it's a thing of the past, as not only flagship devices are getting brighter, but they're also putting this technology in the mid-range devices as well. Much, much brighter screens. Drastically brighter screens. The OnePlus Open, which released in the second half of 2023, claims a peak brightness of 2800 nits. At the time, that was the brightest screen ever for a foldable. Now, Xiaomi, the Chinese company, claims their 14 Pro has an eye-scorching peak brightness of 3000 nits. And I want to mention the upcoming OnePlus 12. They said, oh yeah, Xiaomi, hold my beer. OnePlus is claiming their upcoming OnePlus 12 can hit 4500 nits. 4,500. Now, just for reference, the S24 Ultra, the upcoming S24 Ultra right around the corner, is said to have a screen brightness of just over 2,500, 2,500. So I'm sure that OnePlus 12 screen will basically, it'll be like looking at the sun, right? So instead of seeing a glare of the sun in daylight in the old phones, now you're going to be staring at the sun in your OnePlus 12. So I do want to get that phone in here and check it out. So look, we're not going backwards. I'm only going to continue to go forwards. But at what point is too much brightness, right? Like that almost seems like overkill. 4,500 nit brightness. I don't know. In 3 years, we may be on to 10,000, right? I have no idea. At some point, there has to be a peak limit where your eye can, withstand. So I don't know. All these two devices. No, that's S23 Ultra. This is the only one that the Pixel 8 Pro is the only one that I have at the moment that I think is right at 2,000. The other phones are not. So, and this does get really freaking bright. I was just looking at it the other day thinking, damn, that's bright. So, you might have to start wearing your sunglasses this upcoming year if you get a flagship device. Number 4, a very, very much anticipated feature that I've been looking forward to at least for a year. Wireless charging has been stuck on version 1.0, or I guess not 1.0. I guess it's technically like 1.5. Because when wireless charging first came out years ago, I was heavy into wireless charging probably 10 years ago, probably 8 years ago, and had a ton of wireless chargers and just slowly just stopped using them because I can just plug my phone in now and I can get half a battery in just minutes. And so why would I have my phone stuck on a wireless charger for an hour and a half? I think it took sometimes 2 hours. Doesn't even make any sense. Now, that was 8 years ago. Now, technically, I guess we're on version 1.5, which I believe gets up to 15 watts of power, wireless charging power. So it could probably knock down your charging time down to just over an hour. Because I think version 1.0 was like 5 watts. It was hardly anything. That's why it took 2 hours. There is a wireless charging standard 2.0 that is available. And it got passed through the wireless standard that they have, like some governing body approved it, and they're manufacturing these chargers. And I'm not sure if you can buy one right now. I think you can, but I'm not sure. I might look into that. But you will see this. Now, check it out. Your phone has to have the receiver. So you have the wireless charger in your phone, right? So the 2.0 wireless charger puts out a ton of watts. However, if you put an older phone on the 2.0, your phone will still only max out at like 10 or 15 watts. It has to have an updated receiver inside the device. That's why these phones for upcoming 2024 should have the new wireless charging 2.0 receiver built in, right? So I believe the S24 is going to be the first phone with wireless charging 2.0 installed. I believe. Now, I may circle back around and check my claims after this video and update y'all in a later video, but I believe the S24 Ultra will be the first one with wireless charging 2.0, and I believe it goes up to 30 watts, which doubles the standard where we're at now. So it should reduce the charging time to, I would think, under an hour from 0 to 100, depending on what phone you have, the battery capacity, and all that good stuff. But you will see that. I can promise you that. Now, moving into the final trend of 2024, I'm looking forward to is longer software and hardware, longer software support and longer software update support and hardware support. So Google's come out with their new Pixels, 7 years. It was like Apple used to rule the world in updates, And then I think Samsung a couple years ago got no. Apple had the longest software support, and no Android manufacturer even came close to it, which I think it's at 6 for years. And then Samsung 2 years ago one up to Google because I think Google was 4 years of support. Samsung said, I think with this series, oh no, we're doing 5 years of support. So not up to 6 like Apple, but they did leap Google, which is kind of embarrassing because they make Android. And this year, Google said, no, we're going to one up Apple. We're going to support our devices for 7 years moving forward. Do I anticipate Apple saying 8 years? I don't think this is a back and forth type of war, kind of how it is with benchmarks and CPUs and screen brightness, like we just mentioned. But I do anticipate Samsung matching Google's software support of 7 years. And I would think Apple, I haven't heard anything, no rumors, not even anything on Samsung's software support, but I would think if Google is going to support their devices for up to 7 years, then the code and the technology is there for them, for Samsung to use it. So I think Samsung, with this release of the S24 series, will match Google's 7 years of support. I think you'll see other manufacturers not reaching 7 years of support. Some struggle with 2 years of support, like Motorola, like OnePlus. But I do think you'll see at least most manufacturers at least increase their update, their software updates, at least their support 1 year, right? But that's a good thing. At least it's headed in that direction. I think Apple will bump up and match Google's 7 years of support for their newer iPhones. And they are also the trend of repairing your own device has become popular in 2023. As I look into 2024, I think it will, the manufacturers will expand on that in that area, because they're allowing you, Apple, all the big manufacturers, Apple, Samsung, and Google, will allow you to, I activated my GOOGLE again. They will allow you to repair your device at home. Now, you can Google it. I might put a link in the description box, but whatever your issue is, get in contact with Samsung, get in contact with Pixel, get in contact with Apple, and depending on what your issue is, look, a large majority of it is cracked screens. I think 9 out of 10 issues are probably. So they have kits that they'll send you, even with tools. So you get a new screen, tools, and like a little instruction guide on how to fix your device on Pixel, on Samsung, on Apple. And I think they're going to expand that maybe to more batteries. I'm not sure they're going to do real intricate things like a charging port, maybe. Speaker, vibration motor, but you never know. But I think they will. I think they're going to expand it to batteries next year, or maybe a charging port, because those aren't all that hard to replace. But I do anticipate these manufacturers, because look, that's a claim they can, that's something that they can brag about, right? Well, we offer home repair for all of our customers, and then it's just like the software thing. Well, we'll update ours to 6 years. Well, we're going to do 7. They can brag about it, right? It makes them look good, even though you and I know it is relatively hard. Just to take it apart is hard, honestly. And then you want the average person to replace a screen with all these little tiny minuscule. It's a good idea, and I've made a video about this too. I think it's a fabulous idea. I just don't think the average person I'll put it this way. I think the average person would have a hard time doing it. Like, it sounds like an easy idea, sounds like a good idea. I just think when you get everything there and you start to actually do the process, it's a lot harder than it looks or think it is, right? But it's headed in the right direction nonetheless. So those are my 5 topics I guarantee you will see trending and or increasing with these tech companies moving into the new year. So let me know what you think. Did I miss a topic? That's all I could really think of. Now, I'm sure I could come up with some more topics, but I think 5 is a good list. I was like, top 3. I was like, I can do top 5, but let me know if there's, hey, this or that or whatever it is. Let me know. I would love to hear your input because I thought about this for a good, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, but yeah, so it is what it is. Let me know what you think. Is there something I missed? I would love to hear and or read your input. Thank you for viewing the video today. I want to wish everybody a happy and safe new year. And we are going to be rolling into this year of 2024 with a full head of steam. This channel is taking off. I'm very happy with where we're at and where we're headed. It's continually trending upwards, and I want to thank you, the viewer and subscribers. I appreciate you very, very much. I know your time is very valuable, as is mine. And thank you for taking some time out of your day to view our channel. It really does mean a lot. So I really, really, really thank you. And I do this for y'all. Honestly, I'm not even lying. I do this for everybody. So I will see you tomorrow as I upload daily. Peace out.